Hi, Elise.
Um, Good. Hello, Chucky. I almost brought my Chucky doll, and then I thought, well, that would be kind of dorky, but I guess it's
I had the same thought. Is it dorky? I think these people will excuse it.
yeah. So I've got to ask, how much fun is Jennifer Tilly? Just
It's a lot of fun, both on screen and off, as you can imagine. I mean,
yeah.
you don't even really have to imagine it. You can just like watch her Instagram feed and see how fun she is in real life. But yeah, it's great having her around. I mean, one of the things we've been talking about recently, it's been nice about having now 2 consecutive seasons of a TV show. It keeps us all in shape. We're all, rather than like doing a movie and then we're down for a few years and come back, it's like all of us, the actors, the puppeteers, the writers, my fellow directors, everyone's in shape. And so it's I think good for the show. It's good creatively, but Jennifer, getting back to your original question, she also sees to it that we have a very rigorous social schedule outside of the show, like on our days off.
Is she like the social butterfly of the group?
She is a bit of the cruise director, yes. Like, what's that character from Love Boat? Julie was the actress. Anyway,
Yeah. So in season 2, the kids are sent to a Catholic school. Does this have any sort of significance to you? Were you sent to Catholic school as a kid?
I was raised Catholic, yes. I didn't go to Catholic school, though. Ironically, I went to an Episcopalian school starting in 8th grade. But I went to Sunday school. I made my communion. But before I made my confirmation, I got sent to this Episcopalian school. I mean, because they were great scholastically, but also athletically, which was important to my parents because I was a runner. But it was really there that I first learned about a lot of the intricacies of the Catholic faith that I hadn't learned, such as the concept of transubstantiation. I don't know if you know what that is, but
really?
In the Catholic Mass, when the priest blesses the communion host and the wine, a literal miracle happens. It is not a symbolic thing. It turns literally miraculously into the flesh of Christ and to the blood of Christ. And I wasn't aware that we believed such an outrageously supernatural thing. And I was fascinated by that.
Wow.
And of course, suddenly I brought into a lot of things into question. And it was good for me because I was like starting to take classes in church history and stuff, and learning about the creation of Western faiths and stuff like that. And it helped me become the lapsed Catholic I am today. Bringing you a metaphorical version of my adventures as a young gay kid.
Is that what brought you into the horror genre? I mean, that's pretty horrifying.
Sure, that's part of it, sure. Yeah, I mean, because the Catholic Church is rife with incredibly dramatic, horrifying rituals and symbols and stories. Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
It's a horror show.
Wow, I managed to escape all of that. And Chucky seems almost more threatening when he's not killing. And there was a mess up with my account, and I only saw episode 2 of the new season so far. But he seemed like, as a scout, he was almost more threatening when he's just kind of sneaking around. How do you manage that? I mean, is it just that
with this season, because we had left off with the notion of 72 separate Chuckies on the back of that truck and wondering what became of any or all of them, it gave us the opportunity to create mystery, which is important. The idea of like bringing a Chucky into the situation and clocking that he's up to something new, that's just interesting. I think, rather than just jumping right into the old slice and dice. We know, of course, that he's going to get to that. But if there's something else going on, it's like, I think I want to tune in another week to find out what he's up to.
So what else is he up to then?
Well, I can't say anything too specific, but he's up to revenge. Certainly, that's his stated goal, is that he wants revenge on everyone who thwarted him at the end of last season. So it's those kids, but also Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's interesting because it puts Tiffany in a defensive position as opposed to the very in control place she was in season 1. I wanted to put the character in a new place, and I wanted to give Jennifer something new to play.
Mm-hmm. What else can we expect from this season?
I think you can expect, lots of bloody doll mayhem. Chucky intersecting with nuns and priests and the various Catholic rites, rituals, and all of the paraphernalia that goes with that. You're going to see some homages to other horror movies in that genre, like The Exorcist and The Omen, stuff like that.
Has there been any sort of outcry from religious groups who are, upset that they're bringing in, you're introducing Chucky into the Catholic Church, or are the churches just kind of used to this by now?
Probably the latter. I haven't heard any complaints. I wouldn't surprise me if there were, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is, chicken. I think we're just like a gnat on the shoulder of the Catholic Church. It's easily flicked away, probably. But also, I didn't want it to be too easy and simplistic. I don't want to make the church merely the bad guy. I think that would be too simple. And I think, we've got some religious characters in the story who are people that we're rooting for in the story. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was important too, because I have plenty of angst as a gay man who came out of the Catholic Church. But on the other hand, I do acknowledge, there are lots of good people in the church and that they have done some good things, et cetera, et cetera. Any kind of, incredibly powerful religious institution, they do some good works.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much. And I really look forward to watching the rest of the season.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Don.